Hello, welcome to another JMP video. I'm your host JonNario and welcome back to another installment of my Throw class hidden effects. This is a series where I'll be going over all hidden effects on crystal rings. I will be going over one class per video and I will try to explain how does every single hidden effect works. These are all solo hand tested, so there will be a lot of estimations on the stats and abilities. So if you have any of the correct values on any of these videos, make sure to drop them in the comment section down below. So I took a 1 month break on this series due to the shadowy spotlight dropping on the PTS. So I focused all of my time and attention on that update. But now that everything just settled down, I can actually just work back on this series. Fortunately, I don't have to redo any of the previous videos since none of the abilities actually did get changed. The only exception obviously being the Shadow Hunter because it's the class that got reworked. And I already posted a comment on the Shadow Hunter video explaining what are going to be all of the changes on the Shadow Hunter hidden effects. So make sure to check that one out if you're curious on what are going to be all of the changes on the Shadowhunter's hidden effects. Now that I got that all out of the way, the next video will be the Gunslinger, since that was the last class that I put it as a poll last month. So yes, that was the class that got the most voted last month, so that's going to be the next episode. And yes, there will be another poll after this video is going to be uploaded. And like always, make sure to drop a like since it does help me out more than you think. And also subscribe, we're on a road to 4K subscribers. And with all that being said, let's get started with the Boomeranger's hidden effects. The Boomeranger has 3 hidden effects, which are going to be called Overstuffed Urn, Cyclone, and Blast Bow. Starting off with Overstuffed Urn, which reads, Urn triggers an additional effect. Pretty straightforward. When you drop the Mysterious Urn, aka your ultimate ability, it will spawn 2 random abilities instead of 1. And remember that the random abilities are going to be the healing gems, the cooldown gems, the chickens, and the cluster bombs. Normally you're going to spawn 1 out of those 4 abilities, but with this hidden effect you're going to get 2 of them, and yes, you can get the same ability twice in a row. And yeah, that's pretty much it. One important note before I actually just give my overall opinion is that there's going to be a current bug on the Boomeranger that is allowing you to spawn 2 abilities instead of 1 without the ring equipped. Essentially just making this ability for free for those who are just playing prior to the Shadowy Spotlight update. Since in the Shadowy Spotlight update they really fixed this bug, so yeah, pretty much it is going to be a bug that is only apparent on console. So I will just say if you're playing on console right now, you essentially have this ability by default, and equipping this ability will do absolutely nothing. So pretty much just skip this ability. Even still, if you're just playing after the Shadowy Spotlight update, this ability is still going to be the lowest priority out of all 3 abilities, because while being really nice, giving you more abilities, some of the other abilities are just better, they outshine this ability, so I will probably just say skip this ability. Next up, the second ability is called Cyclone, which reads, the 3rd melee attack now pulls enemies in. So another straightforward ability, so every time you attack with the 3rd attack on your melee basic attack, which is the spin attack, is going to pull all enemies directly towards the Boomeranger, in a similar way to the Scoop and Glue class gem from the Candy Barbarian or the Spirit Storm ultimate ability from the Revenant. You don't have to hit any single enemy, or you don't have to do anything aside from attacking with that spin attack in order to do this ability. And yeah, it's going to pull all enemies in a 9x9 radius, which is at ridiculous range by the way, and it does not have a cooldown. And yeah, that's it. I would say this ability is pretty decent since it does help out in the crowd control department, and normally I would say use this ability, but then you realize that the next ability is pretty ridiculous and you are going to end up skipping this ability. I will still say use this ability if you are using melee on the Boomeranger. Now let's move on to the last ability, which is going to be Blast Bow, which reads, triggers an explosion on each bow attack. So okay, this ability is insane, I'll just say that outright. But if you want an explanation, here I go. So every time you do hit an enemy with a basic attack on the bow, it will trigger an explosion dealing damage to all enemies around it. This explosion deals damage to blocks as well, so it has potential to destroy blocks. The explosion has no cooldown and the damage is a 1x damage multiplier. This explosion damage is separated from the regular basic attack, so it is going to be your regular damage on the basic attack plus a 1x damage extra. So it is going to work exactly as the Dino Tamer basic. And yeah, that is all with this ability. This is a must pick for Boomerangers. This hidden effect makes the Boomeranger bow basic from bad/decent to great/amazing. since obviously this basic attack is getting increased with the Shadowy Spotlight update in terms of damage, and Blast Bow is just going to increase it even further. So this is going to be a no cooldown AoE explosion that actually triggers on every single hit on your basic attack. And yes, this does include your third basic attack that shoots 3 arrows. It's going to cost 3 explosions. And this will increase the damage by the bow basic attack by 1 times, and it's just going to give AoE on top of it. And since it does not have any cooldown, it's just going to have the same burst damage shenanigans as you see with the class gem ability from the Ice Age. So it's just going to make this character insanely good for Delph floor clearing, and since it will give more damage to your bow basic attack, it's also going to help out in DPS. Overall, this is a complete package of an ability. I'll say that again, this is a must if you're planning to use the Boomeranger. And that's it. Thank you for watching as always, and this has been all the hidden effects for the Boomeranger.